So, here's the best way to get jacked, okay? And honestly, it's quite simple. And I will summarize it for you in like a formula. It's three things that you do together, like in total, right? There's bulking seasons, plus cutting seasons, plus the training. In this video, I will dive deep into each of them with the specifics and all so you can get jacked, right? Right now, I'm not like, absolutely jacked. I am what you would call a low key jacked physique, right? So, right now, I'm like deep into a cut and I'm excited for my next bulk, right? Anyways, let's start. First of all, you must understand that this whole thing is a long term thing, right? The bulking season, cutting seasons, and the training, it's there for the long term. You're gonna be doing this for a couple of years, but as time goes on, it will only get better and better and better, right? Because every time, for like, this is like just simplify it all. Every time you bulk, you build muscle, you're getting bigger and all, and every time you cut, you're getting leaner and all, right? So with time, you're gonna basically it goes like this: you go on a bulk, then you go on a cut, you go on a bulk, then you go on a cut, while obviously training and everything. So you'd be getting bigger, building muscles and all, and also getting lean. So every time after your cut, you would look lean and like kind of bigger, and you keep going until you get absolutely jacked, which can take like a couple of years, 2 years, 3 years if you do it properly. Me personally, I've made lots of mistakes, but I'm here and I'm sharing with you the right path. So I'm sorry this took so much time, but let's actually start with the specifics. Okay? So let's start with the bulking seasons. The bulking season is like the best times. You're building muscle, your energy is high and everything. And now for the bulking seasons, I'll give you like, how you can do it properly. Okay? Because you can easily mess it up. Okay? It's really easy to mess it up because when you're bulking, you're training consistently and everything, and you're eating more. Eating more so you can gain weight. And now look, there's so many ways you can mess up this and gain so much fat, and you have to end the bulk earlier, so you end up not building as much muscle because it's easy to build up, but easy to mess up. And all the exams and all the examples that I gave you was if you do it properly. But in this video, I'll give you like the whole thing. So back to our topic. When it comes to bulking and everything, you're eating more and everything so you can gain weight while training to build muscle. Okay? So now how do you do it properly? Like what's the best way? People have different names for it and all, but for me personally, I call it lean bulking because when you say bulking, it already has this bad reputation, right? But lean bulking, it's like basically the correct way of bulking, which is eating a little bit more to the point you're gaining weight slowly. That's the secret. Gaining the weight slowly while training. And now you might ask, what do you mean by slow? Like, how slow is slow, right? So, bro, when it comes to gaining the weight slowly, you're going to gain 1 to 2 kilograms for the whole month. Okay, 1 to 2 kilograms for the whole month, and that's like 2 to 4 pounds for the whole month. Okay, and that's it for the bulk. It's literally that simple. Obviously, keep your protein high. Like throughout your whole fitness journey, keep your protein high. Okay, like this is a simple thing. Okay, keep your protein high and everything. But when you're in your bulking season, you would be eating more to the point that you're gaining weight slowly, 1 to 2 kilograms for the whole month, 2 to 4 pounds for the whole month. Okay, and now another thing with your bulks is that they're gonna be long term. Okay, one mistake that I made was I would go on a bulk and then change my mind, cut, bulk, cut, and I wouldn't like commit to the bulk. And this is a mistake because you're just kind of wasting your time because building muscle is kind of slow, right? So you want to be on your bulking seasons for at least months, okay? 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. The thing that decides how long your bulk would be is how fast you gain the fat, okay? Because if you gain more than 2 kilograms a month, you will end up gaining way more fat, which leads to you ending the cut earlier because nobody likes getting fat, right? Because the reason anyone ends their bulk is when the fat has gotten to a point that they don't like it, right? So the way with lean bulking is that you eat more and everything to the point you're gaining weight slowly and everything for like the long term, 6 months, 8 months, a year if you can. And then after that comes the cutting season. And now in the cutting season, the goal is to get rid of the extra fat while maintaining your muscle. Okay? So the training will stay the same, everything will stay the same, but your diet will go like, let's say you're eating lots of food and all to gain the weight slowly and everything. Now you will reduce it. And it will be like, from bulking to cutting, it will be kind of a lot, right? But you will figure it out. So basically, you reduce your overall food like by a lot. But obviously, not like starving yourself. Like, you should never starve yourself, but you should reduce your food obviously by a lot because, like, you were bulking, gaining weight, and all. But now you're gonna be cutting, so that your food and intake and everything goes down. Okay. So now you've brought your food and everything, like food intake, way down, right? Because now you're in your cutting season. Okay. And now the goal with cutting is to lose fat while maintaining your muscle. Okay, because you don't want to waste your time, right? So you want to get lean and all while keeping all the muscle that you built in the bulk, right? But here's the thing, you could mess it up and like lose lots of muscle on the cut. So, bro, here's how you can cut properly. You'll obviously bring your food intake way down. Okay, like that's logical. You bring your food intake way down, like from the bulk, because like at the bulk it was like way more, but then when you're cutting, it's gonna be way less. So now you're eating way less and everything. You're losing weight. My advice to you is like, don't starve yourself or don't go crazy with the cut. I know you might be excited to get shredded and all, but don't try to like do an aggressive cut. This is like another thing that you might fall. This is another thing that you might fall for, which is called an aggressive cut. And here you would try, it's like, it sounds so good, right? You're just gonna lose fat very fast and that's it. But no, the faster you try to lose the weight, there's a higher chance you might lose muscle. So don't do that. It's too risky. My advice to you is to lose the weight in a balanced approach. Nothing too fast and nothing too slow. Keep it in the middle. Okay? You're losing weight not slowly. I would say like in a normal rate. Okay? Nothing too fast. So now you're gonna be losing weight and everything. And now it depends on how aggressive it is. My advice to you is not to go too aggressive and not to go too slow. Keep it in the middle or even slightly more than the middle. Okay? And now you're gonna be losing weight and everything and losing fat and obviously training throughout the whole time, right? Because like this is really important while keeping your protein high and everything. And then after a couple of months, you will have reached, a point where like you're kinda lean. And then if you keep going, you get like shredded, okay? But now you've kinda look now way different. Bro, if you're like, in your first year or something, or like this is like, for example, your second year or something, you go on and commit to like a proper bulk, then cut, you might actually get like low key jacked or like fully jacked, right? So this is how it'd be like. You first went on a bulk and everything, and then you went on a cut. And that's it. Like in the bulk, you built the muscle and everything, and the cut, you revealed the masterpiece, right? Just like I said, on the cut, you can lose the weight and everything while training consistently and everything, and not lose the weight too fast and not lose the weight too slow. Keep it in the middle or slightly more than the middle. Okay? And that's it for the bulking seasons and the cutting seasons. And now let's talk about the training. And this is where so many people could mess it up because the training, you could make so many mistakes in it. And I won't like take so much of your time. I'll keep it kind of short. Okay? So for the training, there's three things that you must focus on. Number one is the intensity of your training. Every set you do and everything, you have to go to failure on every single set. I know it sounds so controversial. You hear people saying, reps in reserve, don't go to failure your nervous system. Forget all of that. Because what works in the real life, what works like in the real world and real life is different than what like, theoretically is better, right? So bro, trust me, just go to failure on every single set. I know people might say, the recovery and all. Bro, you already sleep, you already eat, and you already have rest days. That's enough, right? So now for the intensity, just go to failure on every single set. Trust me. Okay? And now the second thing in the training is the volume. So many people make this mistake in the training where their volume, they go low volume. And this is because there was a trend with like training low volume, high intensity training style, which is obviously wrong. Okay? But now I'll keep it simple, like the rule with volume and everything. Volume is basically like the amount of sets you do for like each muscle and everything. Okay? For your amount of sets, my advice to you is not to go too high and not to go too low. Keep it in the middle. Okay? That's like the amount of sets. Okay? Keep it in the middle, not too high, not too low. Okay? In all of the seasons, whether you're bulking, whether you're cutting, it always stays in the middle. Okay? That's for the volume. And lastly, for the training, which is the form and progressive overload. Obviously, for the form, keep your form intact, keep it proper and everything. You don't want to injure yourself, which could, like, make you waste months of no training and all. Keep your form proper and everything. And the last thing with progressive overload is to like do it properly. And now, how do you do it properly? Basically, stick to a rep range in all of your exercises. Okay. And now, let's say the step range is 8 to 12 reps. You start with any exercise with like any weight, okay, that you can do 8 reps in. You do that exercise with that weight and everything. Let's say it's like barbell bicep curls, okay. You do 15 kilogram barbell bicep curls for like 9 reps. Next session, try to push to 10. Session after it, 11, until you hit the end of your rep range, which in our example we said 12. When you hit 12 reps, you can finally increase the weight. I think now you understand, right? It's like basically a system to like to know exactly when to increase the weight and everything, so you can keep building muscle and all, right? And it's literally that simple. And lastly, if you go to the first link in the description, you will find Get Low-Key Jacked, which is basically Muhammad's Empire, which is my premium community, where you get the Low-Key Jacked course, which is a video course that covers training, bulking, cutting, everything, and like my own personal methods. And you also get weekly calls with me, direct access to me, and a workout routine. And like, it's good, man. Okay, make sure to check it out if you're interested, and join if you're interested. And that's it, man. I wish you the best. Like, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff, and I will see you in the next one.